Welcome to Home Buying Made Simple. I'm Lisa Williams, broker and owner of Williams and Associates Realty. I'm excited to introduce you to one of our trusted community partners, Lisa Stevens, Homeownership Center Manager with Housing Resources Inc., and she will share information regarding helping people prepare for homeownership and foster financial empowerment. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning.
Yes, thank you so much. This is actually the first time that I've been in the Racine office of Housing Resources Inc. Although Housing Resources does have other offices located in Waukesha, Milwaukee, and here in the Racine office. So, can you tell me a little bit more about Housing Resources?
So Housing Resources, we help people get into their home, become first-time home buyers. In addition to that, we have a post-purchase program to help people sustain their home ownership. So we have foreclosure prevention, and then we also have a tool loan center to help with individuals that own their homes to rent tools to be able to maintain the upkeep of their property.
Great. And Housing Resources has been around since 1991.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you have helped hundreds, if not thousands, of individuals
Thousands of people.
with regards to home ownership. And with that, you have home ownership classes.
Yes. We offer home buyer education workshops in Milwaukee County, Waukesha, Racine County, and Racine County also services Kenosha County as well.
Great. And is there a fee for the homeownership education?
So the home buyer education workshops are free in Waukesha and Milwaukee County. For Racine County, there is a $50 fee that entails when you come through the workshop that you have to pay.
Okay. And with the home buying seminar, so when a person gets in contact with Housing Resources and then they'll schedule you to go through the seminar first.
Correct.
And then you'll schedule a one-on-one to meet with one of the housing counselors.
Right. So our process works as first you're registered for the workshop. Once you complete that workshop, then you'll get assigned to a counselor to complete the intake process. So basically, during that one-on-one appointment with you, they'll go over your affordability, your income, your credit, your savings, your budgeting, and your grant eligibility.
Okay. And you mentioned grants. So how does the grant process work?
Right. So basically, grants are their first come, so they're not guaranteed. And then in addition to that, once you meet with that counselor on that first appointment, they'll go over which grants you're eligible for. Grants really don't come into play until you have an accepted offer on a property. So even though you may know that you may qualify for the grants based on your income or locality, you still have to get an accepted offer on a property first before a grant can be secured in your name, because grants are tied to the property, not the individual.
Right. And there's different types of grants that are available as well, correct?
Correct. So there's a multitude of grants that are offered. Like I said, some of them are based on the city in which you want to purchase. Some are based on income. Different lenders that you may work with, which is the financial institution that you're going to get the loan from, offer in-house grants. So we can layer grants on top of each other depending on what type of loan or you're purchasing. So that's why it's so much that go into grants. So much. It's a big, big, big multitude that goes into grants.
And also with that, there's different dollar amounts, different increments.
Correct.
And then sometimes people, they'll ask, well, what happens to the funds? Let's just say, for an example, they apply for a grant and it's $5,000, but it comes up that they only need $3,500. Do they get the entire $5,000, or can they apply it to something else? How does that actually work? And again, if there's different dollar increments as well with the grant programs, right?
Yeah. So that also depends on which grant you're looking at. Some grants are need-based grants. Some grants, if let's say that you have an abundance of grants, they can use that towards your down payment, closing costs, where you may not have to bring anything to closing. It just all depends on the client's file, what type of loan, what type of grants. All that comes into play when it comes into grant eligibility.
Okay. And then going back to the seminars now, you do in person, or are they virtual, or is it a combination of the two?
Yeah, it's a combination of both. So we offer in person during the nicer months out the year. So 6 months out the year, which is April through October, we do it in person, and then we go back virtual November through March. So in addition to that, I do notice that people appreciate that because during the winter months and sometimes based on people's work schedules, you can do class wherever you're at. You can do class if it's virtual over the computer, your phone, your tablet, your iPad. So it's very beneficial to be able to offer that virtual one-on-one learning.
Great. And another component of housing resources is financial empowerment. And
Yes.
how does that play in part with that?
So for Racine residents, you have to be a City of Racine resident. There is something called the Financial Empowerment Center that is offered. And basically, you meet with the counselor, but it's not if you want to purchase a home. Maybe your goal is just to improve your financial literacy or improve your savings or budgeting or your credit. So they can work with you on doing that. If you do want to purchase a home after you've met with them, then you're more than welcome to come on to our side. But FEC is an amazing program, and a lot of the City of Racine residents is taking advantage of that program.
So housing resources, not only providing a homeownership education, and you mentioned the Toulon Center, but they do so much in the community that they provide a lot of resources and information.
Yep, we offer a range of services, and all of it's beneficial to improve your financial literacy, become a first-time home buyer. And the goal, if you are a first-time home buyer, is to make sure that you're a successful homeowner, that you're sustained in being that. Because we can get you into a house, right? But the goal is to keep you into your house as well.
Correct. Right. And you, now, is it a consortium that you work with, various real estate professionals like myself, and then also, working with lending institutions? How do you go about doing that?
So basically, we have a range of realtors, home inspectors, banks, credit unions, insurance agents, and title companies that partner with us that are able to teach our homebuyer education workshops. And then our clients can pick and choose to work with whoever they feel most comfortable with, or who is best fit for their suitable personal circumstances. So we work with, like you said, like yourself, we work with Lisa. She's one of our realtors that we partner with. We partner with all of these amazing professionals that are experts in their field.
Great. Now, we touched base on like the offices that you have, and that you do have a number of counselors. So when a person goes through, like you said, the first thing is to schedule an appointment to do the seminar.
Yes.
And then once they complete that, then they're assigned a counselor.
Yes.
How long does it take to, get an appointment or to be assigned to a counselor?
That depends. It can happen right away. It can be a week. It could be 2 weeks. After they complete their homebuyer education workshop, they do have a year to book that first appointment. So some clients want to get in right away. Some clients want to push their appointments out. If they already have an accepted offer, we get them in right away because they have to be able to meet that deadline of completing their education and counseling. So it all depends on what your actual personal circumstances are.
Okay. And when at that appointment, then they will let them know what documentation to bring. And I know that everybody's situation is going to be different, but for the most part, there is a system in which you will let them know what they would need to bring and how long it would actually
so take. In that workshop, they get a list of required documents that is going to be needed for that first appointment. So typically speaking, It's income documentation, bank statements, tax returns, a budget sheet that they have to complete. So during class, that last portion of class, who's ever teaching the class, your counselor will go over what are the required documentation to be able to execute that first intake appointment.
Okay. And then you also pull a credit report, correct?
Correct. We do a soft pull. It pulls from Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, so all three major credit bureaus, and we pull it into one report, which is called a tri-merge report. And basically, we go over your credit report with you, and we teach you how to read your credit report. Basically, the same thing a lender will be looking at when they pull your credit when you apply for a mortgage loan.
Okay. And you're helping the individuals, like you said, looking at their credit. When they come in, you know what their income is, you know what their savings are, and then you kind of help them that based on your income and you know what debts you have, and if you're looking at a property at this amount, then this is what you would need with regards to savings.
Right. We look at their affordability, we look at their credit, their savings. So your counselor will go in depth with you. And like you said, it depends on the individual, what's going on with their personal circumstances. But typically speaking, they'll get an estimate of what their affordability is. We call that affordability analysis. So they'll have an idea before they even go to the lender, how much house can I afford based on my income, based on my credit, based on my savings.
Okay. And then you will let them know as well if they are eligible for any, you know, grants. And again, the grants are first come, first serve, and sometimes they go in a different little cycle. But you would also let them know if they qualify or if they're even eligible for any of the grants.
Oh, yes,
as
of
well,
course.
right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So again, you know, you meet with the client and you go over, you know, everything with them, and then you will package that up and then refer them to a lender to get pre-approved? Or
That's
how
correct.
does that work? Okay.
We give them 3 lender options, so 3 different banks or credit unions. You get to pick whoever you want to work with, and we'll put together something called a pre-approval packet and send that over to the lender, and then the loan officer at that particular financial institution will meet with the client.
With the client, and then turn it in, you know, to the pre-approval.
Yep,
okay.
correct.
And you probably won't see them again unless once they have an accepted offer and then they are applying for a grant, or until the time of closing? Or is there any...
No, we still follow through. We work with you all the way to you closing your house, but then we don't even stop then because we bring you back for our post-purchase. So we hold our clients' hands through the whole process, because just because they have a pre-approval and they're working with their realtor, we still have to keep in touch with them. We're not going to probably physically have to meet with them one-on-one as much, but while they're looking for their house, we're still touching bases with them to make sure that how's it going as far as your house hunting? Do you have any questions for us? Are you happy with your realtor you're working with? We're always there helping them.
Okay, great. And you had said, like, even once they complete everything, they've gotten their keys, they're now a homeowner, it just doesn't stop there, because you also offer additional services.
Yes, we offer a post-purchase class. So it's like, what's the next steps now that I'm in the house? So we have our post-purchase that talks to them about property taxes, investing, refinancing, home repairs. So all of that stuff comes into play after they purchase their home. And like I said, God forbid, but you know, life happens. If they needed that foreclosure prevention counseling, we offer that as well.
You offer that as well. Great.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa, thank you so much for meeting with me and sharing all of this information. So again, Housing Resources, Inc., they do have 3 offices in Milwaukee, Waukesha, and also Racine. And if you would like to get in contact with them, their email would be, I shouldn't say email. Their website.
Yep, our website. So you can go to hri-wi.org, or you can give us a call at 414-631-6330 to register for the Homebuyer Education Workshop.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
And again, I
you.
appreciate you sharing this information. So, if you are someone who is interested in home buying education, financial literacy, give Housing Resources a call. Again, that they've been in the industry for over 35 years. So they definitely know what they're doing, and we really do appreciate their services. So again, thank you so much, Lisa.
You're welcome.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.